The UK government has announced significant changes to the spouse and family visa system. These changes are designed to strike a balance between reuniting families and ensuring that newcomers can support themselves financially. The changes have been met with mixed reactions, with some welcoming the focus on economic sustainability and others expressing concerns about the impact on families. The new rules include an increase in the minimum income requirement for British citizens and settled residents sponsoring their spouses to come to the UK. This change is intended to ensure that families coming to the UK can support themselves without relying on public funds. The government argues that this is essential for protecting the interests of taxpayers and ensuring the long-term sustainability of the immigration system. However, critics argue that the increased financial threshold will make it impossible for many families to reunite in the UK. They point out that the new requirements disproportionately impact women and people from lower-income backgrounds. These critics argue that the government should prioritise family reunification over financial considerations, emphasising the importance of family ties and the social benefits of immigration. The debate over these changes highlights the complex challenges of managing immigration in a way that balances economic considerations with humanitarian concerns. The government's decision to raise the income threshold reflects a broader trend towards stricter immigration policies in many developed countries. As the UK navigates its post-Brexit future, the issue of immigration is likely to remain a contentious one. The Home Secretary addressed Parliament to outline the government's rationale for the changes to the spouse and family visa system. In her statement, she emphasised the importance of controlled and managed legal migration. She argued that the UK is a welcoming country, but that it is essential to have a system that works in the best interests of both the British people and those who wish to make the UK their home. The Home Secretary highlighted the government's commitment to reuniting families while also ensuring that newcomers can contribute to the UK's economy. She explained that the changes to the minimum income requirement are designed to strike a balance between these two objectives. The government believes that this approach will help to maintain public confidence in the immigration system and ensure that it is fair and sustainable. The Home Secretary's statement was met with a mixed response from MPs. Some praised the government for taking a tough stance on immigration, arguing that the changes are necessary to reduce net migration and protect public services. Others expressed concerns about the impact of the changes on families, particularly those from lower-income backgrounds. The debate in Parliament reflects the wider public debate on immigration, which is often characterised by strong opinions and differing views. The government's challenge is to navigate this complex landscape and implement policies that are both fair and effective. The changes to the spouse and family visa system are just one part of this ongoing process. The changes to the spouse and family visa system are part of a broader 5-point plan on immigration that was first introduced by the previous Conservative government. This plan focuses on reducing net migration, strengthening border security, and creating a fairer immigration system. The current Labour government has indicated that it will continue to implement key aspects of this plan, suggesting a degree of cross-party consensus on the need for stricter immigration controls. The 5-point plan includes measures to tackle illegal immigration, streamline the visa application process, and attract skilled workers to the UK. The government argues that these measures are necessary to address public concerns about immigration and ensure that the UK can compete effectively in the global economy. However, critics argue that the plan is too focused on reducing numbers and does not do enough to address the needs of refugees and asylum seekers. The decision to continue with the 5-point plan suggests that the Labour government is keen to avoid being seen as soft on immigration. This is likely driven by concerns about public opinion and a desire to appeal to voters who are concerned about the impact of immigration on public services and the labour market. However, it remains to be seen how the government will balance this approach with its commitment to social justice and its international obligations to refugees. The continuation of the 5-point plan highlights the complex political considerations that shape immigration policy. The government's challenge is to develop a system that is fair, effective, and commands public confidence. This will require careful consideration of the economic, social, and humanitarian dimensions of immigration. One of the most significant changes to the spouse and family visa system is the increase in the minimum income requirement for British citizens and settled residents sponsoring their spouses to come to the UK. Under the new rules, sponsors will need to earn at least £26,200 per year to bring their spouse to the UK. This threshold is significantly higher than the previous requirement of £18,600 per year. The government argues that this change is necessary to ensure that families coming to the UK can support themselves financially without relying on public funds. They point out that the previous income threshold was set in 2012 and has not kept pace with inflation. The government believes that the new threshold is more realistic and will help to protect taxpayers' money. However, critics argue that the increased income threshold will make it impossible for many families to reunite in the UK. They point out that the new requirement is significantly higher than the median income in many parts of the country. Critics also argue that the income threshold disproportionately impacts women, who are more likely to be in part-time work or to have taken time out of work to care for children. The debate over the income threshold highlights the difficult balance that the government must strike between reuniting families and ensuring the economic sustainability of the immigration system. While the government's desire to protect public funds is understandable, critics argue that the new rules will create significant hardship for many families.